All right. Um, Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. This is our first financial coaching chat. So the premise of these chats is just, kind of an interview with the financial coach, and then have some Q&A for the financial coach, but really build a community of financial coaches that work with middle income individuals or low middle income individuals to kind of just spread awareness of the factors that are affecting their lives, how the financial coaches are working with them, any kind of tips and tricks for building the business, or scenarios, just so that we can kind of build awareness, get some tools under our belt to go ahead and really help these individuals break that cycle of paycheck to paycheck, start really thinking that they can save for goals, which they can, achieve goals, and really have that accountability partner be there for them as they're going through their financial journey. Because especially for low and middle income individuals, the financial stress is a number one factor, and they're one financial event away from financial catastrophe. So in order to be there for them and help them through the journey, I feel like we can all really learn a lot from each other, and you know just continue to grow and develop our skills as financial coaches. So before I introduce Denise, a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lou Abrams. I'm the founder of Physical. So Physical was founded to democratize financial advice for middle income. My background is in private banking, and I pretty much watched the rich get richer while the middle class and the middle income individuals really didn't get ahead at the end of the month. And one of the key factors I noticed that really was a differentiating factor, other than wealth and all these other services, is really financial advice. At the end of the day, individual financial advice from a person who understands the person's situation and what they're going through and how to get out of it is really what can make a difference. I know growing up in a paycheck to paycheck family, if my parents had financial advice, they would be in a completely different situation. That's because I helped them get out of that situation with financial advice. So being able to democratize that for the world, or as many people as we can, to help them out, is really our mission. I started off doing financial coaching after working in private banking for low to middle income individuals, helping them get out of debt, stop living paycheck to paycheck, and really start saving for whatever goal they wanted to save for. And then from there, our software always made us different. And so from there, I really wanted to accelerate our mission of democratizing financial advice. And so I built out the Apex Money Plan, which automates financial coaching. So instead of spending 10 plus hours on a financial plan, you can really do it in minutes. And that has really scaled financial coaching businesses. And so one of our coaches is Denise. She founded the Career Mompreneur, and I'll let her introduce herself and talk about the Career Mompreneur.
Thank you, Lou. Hello, everyone. My name is Denise Ochebo. I am the CEO and founder of the Career Mompreneur, which is a financial planning and coaching business. I'm excited to talk about my background. So I have a background in finance and accounting, also brand management and marketing. I started the Career Mompreneur after my stint of working in finance and accounting. So I worked in corporate finance for over 14 years in the financial service industry and also the pharmaceutical industry, and then transitioned more so into brand management and started doing taxes. So tax planning. So I am certified in taxes, work with tax clients in the evening during tax season, which we just finished, thankfully, on tax season. But yeah, so out of my interaction with my tax clients, I found myself giving a lot of advice around financial planning, whether that was budgeting, retirement planning, estate planning, credit planning, understanding like how to build your net worth, and just really understanding how to move the middle class from that paycheck to paycheck living into more of how can they have more than enough. So how can they plan for the future? How can they plan for retirement, for college planning, and things of that nature? So I started the Career Mompreneur, and the name came from one, because I am a career professional, always was started in the career space, have a degree in finance and accounting, and also an MBA in finance and marketing, and several certifications. But my goal was mainly to focus on career professionals, women, moms, entrepreneurs, business owners. I do have male clients also by referral, but my target has always been to focus on women, and the reason for that is because 80 80%, of financial decisions are made by women, but they only have 20% financial literacy. So definitely know that in this space, as Lou mentioned earlier, if people have the knowledge and financial literacy education, they will make different decisions, both in their personal lives and even in their businesses, if they are business owners. So that's a little bit about me and why I started the Career Mompreneur, and just decided to be here with Lou to talk about how we're changing things, for the middle class clients.
Super excited to have you here. Thank you for that introduction. So what made you super passionate to go into coaching and work with middle income?
Yeah, so for me growing up, I grew up in a 2-parent home, and I saw my parents, work blue collar jobs where they either was working. My dad worked a physical labor job, but my mom was a accountant. She was a self-taught accountant, and then she finally went back to school later after having 3 children to pursue accounting as a degree. And so I saw my parents, in the home struggle. Like, they did fairly well to have 3 children and be able to educate us and put us in private schools, but it didn't come without sacrifice. And I always seen, how they struggled. I always, told myself, just growing up in a home, that if my parents had more financial knowledge around just changing their money mindset, understanding how to budget, understanding how to plan for retirement, investing, understanding what that actually meant, and being able to be proactive about it, maybe they would have been further along than where they are today. I'm not saying, that they did bad for themselves, but of course, there's always room for improvement. So that's what got me excited to even study finance and accounting in undergrad. And, that was my interest. I always had a passion for numbers, thought I was going to be a math teacher when I went to undergrad, but decided I wanted to take more of that business route. So pursued finance and accounting in undergrad, and went into industry, financial services, and did that for a while more on the commercial banking side, and then pivoted into pharmaceutical industry and did corporate finance / accounting there. And from that experience, decided to go back and get my graduate degree. So just learn as much as I can, get certifications, and be able to take all that knowledge and experience, apply to my own self, understanding how to build finances, how to achieve financial freedom was big for me, and something I was able to achieve for me and my husband, and then other clients, as I mentioned, like tax clients that I was working with, but then also business owners, and being able to take that knowledge, because it's something I'm passionate about. I always seen myself being able to help, especially the middle class, because I feel like, one, they don't have access to resources, or if they have access, they don't know how to utilize them properly. Where if you're more on the higher net worth side, you may have access or have a planner, or even know about what financial planning is. Where if you're like in that middle class group, you may not have that access. So I wanted to bridge that gap and really, close that wage gap between the wealth and the poor, and really target like that middle class client that may not understand or know like how to properly manage their finances, or if they do, they want to elevate to the next level.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's so funny because I did the same thing. I thought I was going to be a math teacher as well, and I was like, no, let's go into business. So, your core target is women, especially moms. And so, what types of clients are you working with?
Yeah, so I work actually with a spectrum of clients. So I normally target all women, but I do have male clients. So I have couples. I actually have clients that are doctors, both the wife and the husband, they're both in the healthcare field. I have entrepreneurs, business owners that worked in corporate for a while and started their own business. Some been in business as long as 25 years. Some are startups. Some been in business for 10, 15 years. I have moms, I have mompreneurs, ones that are moms and entrepreneurs. I also have, career professionals, individuals that's not looking really to go into business, but they're just trying to advance in their career, and they want to get a hold of their finances. They want to understand tax planning, estate planning, budgeting, and how to really financially prepare for the future. I have individuals that are single, just coming out of college. They got that first job, and they're like, I want to make sure I know how to budget. This is my first big job out of college. So I, offer services around budget analysis and teaching them how to properly budget, how to plan for the future as they take on their first job out of grad school. So I partner with individuals, also partner with corporations and organizations. So that's nonprofits, universities, high schools, to teach more of that financial literacy. And then business owners, as I mentioned earlier. So that's pretty much like my different segments that are a part of my clientele currently.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so I would assume that a range of income really has a large spectrum from, people just starting out 30, 40K to maybe 100 plus, right?
Right. Correct.
Yeah. So how, like on a typical, not, I guess not typical because every client's different, right? But like,
Yeah.
from a strategy standpoint, how are you working with them? Is it phone calls? Is it Zoom? Is it meetings in person?
Yes. So I actually, my business is ran virtually. So I tend to work on the weekends, obviously with clients because I work on my job during the week or, during the week, during the day, and then like also in the evening with clients. So a lot of it, the one-on-one like coaching sessions are done virtually because my clients span across like the 50 states. So we're all not located in the same location. But when it comes to like partnerships with different organizations, those obviously can either be in person or virtually. There are conferences that I've been the keynote speaker where I presented certain topics where I've done those in person. But as far as like the one-on-one coaching with business owners, with individuals, most of those have been done virtually.
And so, can you, do you usually put together a full plan for them? Are you putting together just a budget, or does it vary based on the client?
Yeah, so I offer two different packages and it depends on the client. So I try to meet the client at like their current state, so where they're at, and understand like what their goals are, expectations, and where they're trying to go. So I offer one package, which is normally a lower price package, is the budget analysis. So these are for clients that, want to get a grasp on a budget, understand like really how to start building like financial cash flow on a month-to-month basis. So I create a budget for them, help them understand exactly like where their money going in and out, the P&L statement to tell them where that is. And then for my client, the business side and more of the full, the full package where they have monthly coaching sections. So in the budget analysis, they meet with me twice a year. And then on a month-to-month basis, those are my clients that are in my gold membership. And for them, they get a full customized financial plan. So that literally takes them through all the nuts and bolts of financial planning, from budgeting, from tax planning, from understanding like their net worth, their cash flow, balance sheet, also providing them with recommendations on areas they can improve on. It goes through insurance planning, tax planning, all those different components, investment planning that they may have questions on. So that's the client that's like really serious about understanding all the components of their finances and they want to take control and improve it going forward. So I meet with them on a month-to-month basis and they get a full financial coaching plan. And we also go over different topics more in depth, like credit planning, for example, how to increase their credit. If they're on the business, more around business capital, understanding inventory and how to manage that for their business. So there are three different plans, from the silver with the budget analysis, then the gold membership is more of that full customized financial plan, and then the platinum plan, which is for business owners.
Got it. Okay. And then, so what kind of data are you collecting? Are you asking for statements? Are you asking for tax returns, things like that?
Yes. So with the client, just because of the system. So before I started, I was doing everything by hand, traditional financial planning, where you had to get all the statements, get the bank statements, get the tax return, verify all the information, input all that information, do the calculations, provide a report. And, that can take 3 to 6 months per client, just depending on how involved and intense it is. But because when I started my business, one of the goals is trying to figure out a way to be innovative, but also be nimble and agile all at the same time. So one, that I could take on more clients. So I started doing research on automated, customized financial plan systems that I can incorporate into my business or get built out for my business specifically. And so that's when I came across Fiscal and Lou, and I met with him and discussed like what my expectations are, what my goals were, where I was with clientele, how I was trying to grow and scale my business. And so in the system that was created, the Career Mompreneur Money Pro, it allowed everything to actually be automated. So the onus of collecting like financial statements, tax returns, reports, bank statements, everything of that nature is now, the onus is on the client, because they go in and they actually fill out a money profile using their information and they verify that it's accurate. So that now takes that more so that financial literacy part off of me. So they actually know what's their credit card interest rates, how much in their checking account, how much are they saving as they're entering that information in. In my first session, I do always go over like making sure it's right. And I walk them through what they enter. And you'll be surprised how many times clients say like, oh, I didn't mean to put 20,000. No, that's not right. It's 2,000. So we catch all those minute errors as we go throughout, and I make sure that they update it, because I always tell them the plan is just as good as the information you put in, because the only way for me to keep my price at the price point that it is at is for them to take the onus and verify all their information, because it'll put me back in the same situation I was originally, where I was verifying, I was entering it, I was collecting all the documents, and depending on when they send it over, that could take a month or two, 2 to 3 weeks to get it, go through it. So now that onus is on them to enter it, because this system of the automated customized financial planning system allows them to, enter their information into the portal, and I'm able to go in and view it and then move forward with the coaching session from there.
Got it. And so do you have, are you typically having like a 30-minute coaching session with them every month now that, the plan is basically produced automatically?
So it is 1 hour. One is because I take the first couple of minutes to just verify everything and go through it with them. And then we walk through the plan. So of course, most people, it's their first time probably ever seeing the financial plan. So I have to walk through what everything means, what they input, but then also what I inputted based on the numbers. So that literally takes up the full hour, sometimes even go over. But yeah, so it is a full 1 hour monthly coaching session with the clients in the Gold membership. Now, the ones in the budget analysis, I meet with them just twice semi-annually. Got
it. Okay, cool. So with all that, how are you growing your business? Because now you have all this time savings via the software, and you're able to work with more clients. And then how else are you growing your business?
Yeah, so I'm growing the business by hosting webinars. I'm taking on speaking engagements. Also, I'm looking at pivoting eventually to like group coaching sessions, where I build out like a course, a platform, even automate it more. So the opportunity now that I have to take on more clients, it allows me to actually go out and market more, pitch more, have speaking engagements. Also just engage a little bit more with clients through webinars, which I think is important. So there are several webinars like that I run throughout a month in the evenings or on the weekends for clients, where outside of just like their one-on-one coaching, they're able to like, hear from guest speakers. They're able to hear from me and even my creative team that works with me on different topics like negotiating your salary, or we may have like a webinar on just budgeting. So you think about it, in 90 minutes, you're talking about the components of budgeting, why it's important. So they get more of that interaction outside of like their one-on-ones, where before I wasn't able to really run webinars maybe like once or twice a year. But now I'm able to do it more consistently, because I have allowed more time to do it, where late at night I'm not working on budgets, or I have some free time on the weekends to like run webinars and prepare materials for that. So yeah, that's very exciting, because it just adds another component to the business that a lot of people really enjoy. They like to feel like they're a part of the community, and that's what the Career Mompreneur is. It's a community of women, like-minded women that are serious about their finances, and also men, because we I have male clients, as I mentioned, that are comes together. We talk about things that they may not be able to have access to, or to even talk about with a financial planner, if they went to a traditional bank. So we provide that opportunity through our webinars.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, so from the perspective of, working with the middle class, middle income individuals, what do you think are some trends right now that they're concerned about?
Yeah, so I think the biggest trend right now, so as most people know, we're still in the pandemic, but especially when the pandemic hit, I think the biggest concern, for most people when it came to finances was just how to make sure that they're doing something that's sustainable, how to make sure that they're bringing in income, or even having multiple sources of income. And now that we're semi coming out of the pandemic, or things are opening back up and getting better, you tend to hear clients wanting to know more about, budgeting, like how should they be budgeting? How should they manage their debt? So debt management is a key topic I always hear from clients. Credit, planning, like how do they improve their credit to get lower interest rates, because obviously, you know, when the pandemic hit, most people went out to buy houses because the rates were low. But then you had people that couldn't qualify for houses because they weren't prepared for what was coming with the pandemic. You know, like none of us suspected that. But you tend to hear people now, I would say, taking a little bit more deeper look or deeper dive into their finances and actually trying to financially plan better, just in case like something else happened again in the future. They're not caught off guard. They have an emergency savings fund. They have a rainy day fund, especially for individuals, you know, that were first responders that may have lost their job for a period of time, like making sure they had a solid savings and was able to leverage it during the pandemic was key. So I think, you know, because we're still in the pandemic and the pandemic happened, it just enlightened individuals to really take a look at their finances. Also, investment planning, investment management has been a key topic that individuals are like really keen to learn more about. So yeah, I think it's definitely a great opportunity, you know, for financial planners and coaches just to figure out like what, you know, how can they really solve that problem of financial literacy and gap. And then even for high net worth clients that are looking to maybe someday retire, not everyone knows about retirement planning or investment planning, like IRAs or different options that's out there. They want to know, they want that knowledge, they want the information, they want someone that can provide like that special touch and explain it to them. So I feel like those are big gaps, and that this is what clients have provided me with as feedback of things they want to see like going forward as they think about like their finances and financial planning.
Yep, I agree. Awesome. So if you have one piece of advice for financial coaches or aspiring coaches, what would it be for them?
Yeah, my first advice would, you know, be to understand like who your target market is, because of course, based on who your target market is, your strategy is driven by that. Also, to identify the best way to automate your systems. So whether that's through software or portal, whatever option, you know, you think may be best. I'm thankful for Fiscal because it has allowed me to do financial coaching and planning in a unique way with the Career Mompreneur Money Pro system that has helped me take on one, more clients, but then two, provide the information in a way that's understandable, because you got to think most clients are not coming with like the finance lingo and jargon and understanding. So how can you provide them a full customized plan in a way that they can interpret it and take it and actually execute upon it? So, you know, me partnering with Lou and us having several conversations about exactly what I wanted to see from an output perspective, and being able to automate it and create a system that allowed me to do that has been, you know, one of the biggest blessings and a phenomenal thing for my business. Because as I mentioned before, going from 3 to 6 months of financial planning for 1 to 2 clients to now 3 to 4 weeks, maybe, depending on when they submit everything and submit the profile, it's a significant change. And it's only because of this innovative, customized system and software that I have. And there's nothing else on the market like that, you know. Glad it's trademarked, but Lou has definitely, you know, provided me with the opportunity to really advance my business to that next level and change the trajectory for the middle class, and even take on higher net worth clients sometime in the future, and even business clients, because this software, you know, is able to provide the information that even business clients may need and address their concerns. So now it's allowing me to grow, scale, you know, and take my business to the next level beyond where it was when I started.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Denise, thanks so much for joining and chatting about your financial coaching business and how you're growing it, and, you know, the trends you're seeing with the middle income individuals. I really appreciate your insight and sharing that knowledge with everyone. If you want to be a host, or if you want to be a special guest on our financial coaching chats, if you want to talk about your business, you know, share your insight, feel free to email me at lou.abrams@physical.com. Or come check out our podcast and join live when we host them. Check out our social media for that. And Denise, thank you once again for joining. Appreciate everything.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a good one.
You too. Take care. Bye.